How is everyone doing? What's up, Sean? How you doing? What did I just do? Off. What is going on? What's up, Rusty? Brandon? How's everyone doing? Doing well, doing well. New week. Excited. What's up, back? How are you? Cameron? Let me turn the music lower. Yes, sir. Join like. Wondering if the square trade. That's not me, the square trade, but I think C-Bless is going to take it. Right? He always alerts everything. Let's see. Let's take a look at this challenge channel. He said 77 trigger. Let me put this on clear. 77 trigger for square today is what he said. Waiting for opening range plus flow confirmation before entering. Safer plays 85 calls up to the 83 level, which is the first price target. Right, so 77 is the trigger. Right, so what do you do? Right, so first of all, here's the Discord. Right, little sneak peek for anyone that isn't a member here. All right, 77 trigger. So what you do is, and he said 90 call 127 at 0.03 is a possible opportunity. But then he said 85 calls is a safer play. So what do? Right, you go to the trigger level of 77, wherever it is, right around this zone here. And then you hit alert, and then you can hit, right, 85 call, what's Friday, 126, 127. 127. All right, 127. There you go. Right, and now when it triggers, right, you'll know exactly what to do. All right, this is what everyone should do. And you can even change the condition. You could do crossing, moving up only, or moving down. Alert name. And then you could also change the alert name. There you go. You can change that. Now you'll be notified. And that's exactly what everyone should be doing every time, right? Trading is all about preparation. It's really it, right? If you have a plan in place, all you have to do when the time comes is execute. And we give the plan every single morning, right? We all post watch lists. We all go over charts, levels, key things to look out for, right? We're doing most of the work for you. All you have to do is just, right, create the plan and execute. One of my favorite setups today is Boeing, right? Overall uptrend to the upside, slight pullback here, nice period of consolidation, right? Lower highs, higher lows, kind of a double bottom here at 204.82, and we're sitting right at the breakout range. If this can push up and push over 209.67, then I think we continue to the upside and test those highs of 216. Right, so a Friday expiration around a 215 call, or right, if you want to be a little safer, right, if, just in case we get any chop, 213, 212 call, whatever it is, the closer, the safer. Okay. So that's something I'm definitely keeping an eye on today. Apple, I'm also keeping an eye on. Right, we kind of have this rounded bottom here, higher and higher lows now. We're getting close to testing this 138.61 level, right? This previous resistance from Wednesday last week. If this can break, we should push up to 140. Right? We have a clear double bottom back from November and the beginning of December, which is going to act as a resistance, right? So if we break over 138.61, we're going to test 140.18, and then we need this to break for a big push up. Okay. Solid chart overall, big support below if we do come to the downside, right? Previous bounce, previous double bottom, acted as resistance a few times across the board, and it should act as a support if we do get the pullback to the downside. All right, so square again, like this setup as well. All right, I know this is seedless top watch, right? We have previous resistance, acted as a triple top across the 76 level, right? If this breaks, we should see a nice move to the upside, 79 plus or so. Right, this is the next level above, right around 79.95 or just 80 flat if you want to round it off. And the next level above that's around 82, 83. Definitely keep an eye on that. Google's another one I like, right? Kind of breaking the overall downtrend last week. Right? Huge breakout to the upside. Nice little pullback and then saw some continuation. If we can break over the high of day from Friday, which is 98.3, I think we can run up to 100. Right, so keeping an eye on that. If we take a look at the smaller time frame, right, it could potentially be a rising wedge. Not the cleanest of all, but it's something to take note of. This trend line here, kind of. Yeah, not really the cleanest, but potentially. Right, so if this does break to the downside around 97.55, right, previous resistance, acted as a support quickly. I'll set an alert. Just in case. Question mark. Right, just in case, and then I'll create it, and that way I don't have to keep an eye on it, you know, very closely when the market's open. But I always set alerts on everything. If I see an analyst mention something, right, let's say an analyst mentions, you know, Tesla blank, right, I'm setting an alert, I'm going to Tesla and I'm setting an alert, right, just so I don't have to, you know, remember everything, right? Let the alerts do the work for you. What's up, Nick? Got you, Roman. Giants lost. Eagles won. Cowboys lost. Getting sidetracked. Another thing for Google is rising wedge, right? It's the only thing down here in pre-market. Right, down 0.4% showing weakness when everything else is showing strength. Right, so if this breaks to the downside, this is, or if the market starts to shift to the downside, Google is going to be my top watch because it's the worst overall. Spotify cut 6% of its staff. It's up a decent amount. A lot of layoffs recently. Right, all these layoffs are another reason why you should learn how to trade. Right? You do not want to have to be dependent on a company that doesn't care about you. Right? They're delaying bonuses, they're doing all this. They're cutting people. Right? You don't want to have to be dependent on that. Learn how to trade so you don't have to ever respond to anyone but yourself. AMD up 2.3% here in pre-market. They got a upgrade. Price target upgrade. Let's see. Barclays upgraded. More positive view on semis. So AMD, Micron, Qualcomm, Nvidia, right? All the semis are doing well here, right? Nvidia 1.1%, AMD 2.2%. But AMD, right? We have this previous double top here at 72.78 or so, right? If that breaks, we should push up to 75. Nice bounce off the 382 fib from the low to the high. Right, could see some continuation if we break out that 72.78 level. Tesla, right, created this period of consolidation after a huge downtrend, and we kind of broke above. We retested, right, previous resistance at this level. This was a major level here, right? Previous resistance acted as support, saw some continuation, and right now we have this 136.68 level here. This needs to break out for a push above. Right, if we break 136.68, we should test 140 and then 144. The Nvidia setup last week was amazing. These contracts ran up 400-500% or so, or I think they ended up going up even more. This is what I look for every single time, right? Double, triple bottom, right? Period consolidation, lower and lower highs, a perfect breakout entry, right? Period consolidation below, breaks out, right? Holds the lows, creates higher lows here, breaks out, has a gap to fill above, pushes up to the next resistance above, slight pullback, little flag there, right? Look at this little flag on the smaller time frame. Use this tool, right? Little flag and continuation. Right to the price target. Okay. Perfect setup. And Amazon, I don't really like the setup, but does have a nice resistance here at 97.23. We are above it here. Could push up to the highest here of 99. But yeah, top watch is Boeing, Apple, Square. These setups here, the one with the red. Take a look at SPY. So here's SPY, right? Still in this range, right? This is the daily. Higher lows, lower highs. Keep an eye on the 400 level. We're right at 396. If 400 can break, it's setting us up for a huge move to 410. Right. Setting up for 410 if that can break. I didn't realize we got like 180 people here. If everyone can drop a like on the video, I would appreciate it. Make sure you're in bull trades. You're missing out if you're not. You're missing out if you're not. Right, live trading every single day. These pre-market streams, we answer 24/7. I don't think there's another community that responds to its community as much as we do. Right? Before bull trades was a thing, I used to be a part of a bunch of groups as well. Right? Just because I like trading in a community, it makes me more money too. No one really communicates with its members. Right? All they do is just post the levels and it's up to you. Right? If one of you guys ask a question in the chat, someone's getting back to you. Right? I know I answer every single question that I get tagged in, unless it's like repeated 30 times and I just get annoyed, which is pretty self-explanatory. But I don't think there's another community that's more interactive with its community than us. When the trigger hits, do you just buy cons at market? Or I always do limit. I don't want to use market. I'd rather not get filled and miss the play than get filled at a terrible spot. Right? It's okay if you miss a play. A lot of people will have FOMO. FOMO is going to destroy your trading. Right? Things that destroy your trading, right? FOMO, emotional trading, chasing, sizing too big. What else? That's really the main ones. But if you do that kind of stuff in your account, you're setting yourself up for a disaster. Right? Trading is not a get rich quick scheme. Not at all. So if that's what you're here for, I'm sorry to break it to you. It's not realistic. Yes, it can happen. Possible. Anything's possible. But it's not likely. And it's also not consistent. The indicator on the right-hand side. Hopefully you guys don't hear those sirens in the background. The VRVP. This level, this thing right here. VRVP. Volume range volume profile. Or visible range volume profile. Whatever you want to call it. Same thing. Yep, not having a plan. Not having a plan is probably your biggest thing. Absolutely. Yeah, let's draw the levels at the lower time frames here. So it's hard. So, right. Roman asks, can I go down to the smaller time frames and draw a supportive SPY? Right. When there's just one trend to the upside, it's hard to draw, right? We would have to go to the larger time frame here and take a look at the previous data that we're approaching, right? Because we're in an overall uptrend on the smaller time frame, right? There's no data on the left-hand side of the screen. So what we have to do is zoom out, go to a higher time frame, and see the levels that we're approaching, right? That's what I'm doing every single time. And that's why I was looking at a larger time frame, right? The more data, the more accurate your levels are going to be. Right, which is why drawing the resistance levels on a higher time frame is typically better. Right, so I like this level, right, 397.2. It doesn't have to be too exact, but we rejected it here, rejected here, rejected a bunch of times here, right? Also rejected here, and then we act as a support here. Right, so this level above is definitely significant. Right, if we go to an even smaller time frame on the 5-minute, right, we have a previous double bottom here. So 397.2 is definitely going to be an important level. But the main level you want to look for is that 400 level. If we test 400 and we reject, right, it's a great area. Have a stop loss above and you take puts to the downside. Right? If we break above, it's a great area to take calls. Right? Calls above, stop loss below, price target at the next level above. Would be this level right here. Right around 403.5, right? Previous support turned into a resistance. I have a lot of you here today. Appreciate everyone stopping by as always. What questions do you guys got? Let's take a look at VIX. I don't think we looked at VIX. So VIX last week, right? We had this significant resistance level, this pink trend line, right? Rejected numerous times. We broke above and we saw a huge spike, which caused a SPY to the downside, right? We pulled back, retested, reclaimed this previous support as a new resistance. All right, now we're opening up below. Right now we have consistent higher lows. Right around this zone here. Delete that trend line. Right, kind of creating this resistance here. Right, it doesn't have to be too perfect because VIX is a little skewed. But if this breaks above, I'm going to watch SPY to the downside. Right, this is the intraday resistance from today. 20.33. So if this breaks to the upside, we're going to test 20.6, and then if 20.6 breaks, we should test this next level I have drawn out here around this zone here, around 21. Yeah, let's get the likes over 100. Everyone spam it. I don't know if the likes do anything, but hey, why not? How do you properly draw with the fib tool? You just go from a high to a low to a high in an uptrend. All right, so here's BA. Oh, this is too far just for this example. Let's go to a different example. Let's use SPY. All right, so SPY, right, you just go from low to high, right? So here's the low before this uptrend. Here's the high. And there you have it. Roman, when it breaks one of your support resistance levels, how do you know when to enter? You answered your own question. As soon as it breaks. All right, just make sure you have a plan going into it. Unusual Whales is totally different. They don't have analysts, professional day traders trading. It's just a flow platform. I've tried Unusual Whales. All right, I try pretty much everyone because I want to, you know, see what everyone offers, and way too confusing. Right? Retail traders in general don't know what they're doing. Right? So when you offer, you know, a retail trader with an insane amount of data that isn't necessarily so important, it just creates craziness. Right? So the bull trades dashboard is, we're trying to keep it as simple as possible. We don't want to overflow you with data that's not going to matter for a day trader. Right, that would just be information overload. But they all have great data, right? Unusual Whales has an insane amount of data, but for me, it's unnecessary. For you, it also might be unnecessary. But don't get me wrong, they have a ton of information. It's great. But too much for me. All I want to see is support resistance levels, right? Patterns and unusual flow, which dashboard shows that perfectly. No, I just typically, as soon as it breaks or even before it breaks, I typically like to enter. Right, there's typically a sign of consolidation. The video was a perfect example of this last week. Right, here is the pattern. This was my breakout entry. Right, so I typically wait. I want to see a spike through. Right, I'm pretty sure I entered at this level here. Right, I entered at the break of this double top right here. Got some green, pulled back, but my stop loss was below. Right, so we didn't get stopped out. I'm pretty sure it went down, you know, 20 or 30% at first, which is totally okay, right? Not every play is going to go green, which most people don't understand, right? You have to wait for the setup to play out. As long as you're following the chart, you'll be okay, right? You're not going to win every setup, which is why also you need to focus on sizing, but not every play is going to go green right away, right? I entered here, we saw green right away, and then we went red. Right, and then, right, since we followed the setup, we created higher lows, and it broke out. Right, we filled that gap. I personally don't like Thinkorswim. Not my cup of tea. But everyone has their own preference. Right, do what works best for you. If there's someone out there telling you do this, do that, right, there's no other way. This is you know, the best method of trading or whatever. Not someone I'll listen to. Right, take everything with a grain of salt. A lot of fakes out there. A lot of people acting like they know what they're doing that they have no clue what they're doing. Right, and that's in every industry, and it's unfortunate, but you got to take everything with a grain of salt and create your own plan. Market is about to open here in 3 minutes. It's 9:27. about to be 9:28. So, as always, I appreciate every single one of you stopping by. Drop a like before you head out. As always, plan the trade, trade the plan. Don't be an idiot today or every day, right? Don't oversize. It's okay if you miss a trade, right? There's going to be a trade every single day, every other day, every week, every month, every year. I'll see you guys in the Discord.